Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. In the last episode, we went and we woke up the flaming fist guy who was locked in some sort of dream state using his loot. And he talked with Halsin and let him know about Thaniel and how to find him. And so we went, and Halsin opened a portal to the Shadowfell, and we had to fight off a giant horde of enemies. Which got a little hairy there, but was successful. And we have rescued Thaniel, but appears to be incomplete in some way. So we need to find his other half, which appears to be that kid we ran into a little while back. So, we need to go take a look at that. We can now get Halsin in the party. So, we might swap him in. I'll have to decide who I want to swap out. I also decide, do I want a short rest or do I want to just go ahead long rest? You know what? Let's just go ahead and long rest.
I am not a skeleton. I am neither dead nor undead, neither alive nor unliving.
And did that get anybody to want to talk to us? No, doesn't look like it. Though, you know, in that fight, Will and Gale were invaluable. Like, those fireball spells did a lot of work. Alright. Well, if nobody wants to chat, then let's go ahead and burn off another supply pack here somewhere. And we finally burned off all of our supply packs. I think we may have. All right. I really want to do all 10 cookies. We'll do 5 of the cookies. We'll do some sausage. Oh, there's a camp supply pack. We'll hold off. Ew. Alright, that gets us to 39. I need something that is just 1 camp supplies. There we go.
Don't say a word. Just listen.
Alright, I'm listening.
A parasite grips my mind. My own people hunt me. But I am gnawed by an even greater torment. You. My thoughts are hallowed ground. Yet you've crawled your way in. Uninvited. I'm obsessed by the ground under your feet and the wind over your head. I see your face just before I sleep and after I wake. I ask myself, are you worthy? Shakfonas do. There is only one way for you to prove it.
Alright. Slaying our enemies in coldest blood?
A fine sentiment, but I require more. We fight. I test you in battle. Dance with me. Bleed with me. Bruise me so that you might possess me.
Yeah, let's do it.
Go on. Best me.
All right, we're going to do it barefisted. All right, where is... Oh. Where is she? There she is. Okay. Oh, you were armed? Oh, so am I. Well, let's get the first strike in.
I think you can take me on.
Now let's use the lightning breath.
Best me. Prove your excellence.
All right. She hasn't done that much damage. Bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attacks. Blade Ward. That's right, I can't Bardic Inspiration myself. Alright.
Scar me. Yes. Just like that.
Alright, well, she just did a ton of damage.
Lae'zel's touch is unusually gentle. Her fingers lightly graze your bruises and wipe away your sweat.
No more. I can't bear it. I've torn flesh from monsters and men. I've laughed as they suffered. But you... I don't want to hurt you. I want to protect you. For you to protect me. I am yours. Say the words.
All right, then. Yeah, we made her a paladin, so she's gonna be a tough nut to crack. Sure.
Right answer. Jacques Vonashdu, source of my bruises.
All right. An interesting line to come out of that from. Oh, Scratch has something.
The dog is unable to speak through the small bag he holds in his mouth.
All right, what do you got there?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me.
A torch.
All I know is I thought of you when I saw it.
All right. Well, thanks. All right. Well, we got to figure out who we are bringing and who we are not. Now, when we head into that
I never met a skeleton before.
dungeon, we want to have
You know,
Astarion with us
Skeleton. I am neither
because of
dead
his deal with Raphael. See where that goes.
nor am living.
I don't get it.
Thou wilt.
All right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to put Will and Gale on the bench again.
How can I help?
They did some good work. Well, you know what? Let's also chat with him. The night song sounded useful. Could it save you from the orb's detonation?
Alas, no. The charm Elminster granted me requires my death as the spark that will light the orb's fuse. Making myself invulnerable, immortal, or in any other fashion unkillable would render it useless. And gods only know what it might do to the orb itself. Still, I see no harm in learning what we can about this night song. And if we manage to find it, the harm will be all Ketheric's. So, well worth indulging our curiosity.
All right. We're not going to ask about the protocol. We're not going to ask about Mistra. Oh, you know what? We'll ask about Mistra. Never mind.
She expects those who seek to use the weave to do so honestly, and with respect for its potential to destroy, as well as its potential to save. I doubt she's asked many of her followers to blow themselves up. That's a fate she's bequeathed exclusively to me. She wouldn't ask such a thing if it weren't our only means of survival. However much she's annoyed at me.
I was wondering about that mighty lord you told me about in your story.
Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistril, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel. And with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistril sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistril, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly.
So at that moment in time, all magic was gone?
For a spell, Mistril was reborn as Mistra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go.
All right. We'll go ahead and take a break.
I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
And then Will.
The shadows are cruel. It would take a miracle for Arabella's mother and father to survive them. Well, lucky for us, we've got a knack for miracles. Let's reunite the girl with her mother and father. She deserves that much.
We'll try. Any idea where we'll find Duke Ravengard now that we've reached Moonrise?
Not in a mere prison cell, certainly. My guess, Thorm will have confined him in the bowels of the tower. The deeper we dig, the closer we get.
All right. You've talked about your father, but not your mother. Why is that?
Because there's nothing to tell. She died when I was born. As a boy, my bond with father was too deep to miss the mother I never had. Now, well, I'd be lying if I said I'd never thought about my mother. What life would have been like if she'd lived. Maybe I'd be living in the city. Maybe I'd never have been forced into this cursed pact. But there's no use lingering on maybes. My mind is on the stories of today and tomorrow, not those of yesterday.
All right. Well, we'll ask those questions later.
Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready. And just when things were warming up.
All right. Halson.
Thaniel still suffers. There'll be no improvement until his essence is restored, I fear.
All right. We already talked to him about Oliver. Once Daniel's essence is found, what then?
In truth, I'm not sure. This is beyond all reckoning. It's still part of Thaniel deep down, but it may not recognize that, or want to recognize that. Perhaps it can be reasoned with, but I'm not hopeful. Reason is not something that thrives amidst the shadow curse.
All right. Welcome aboard.
Good. Now our roots can deepen together.
And we've got to get you some levels. And the other person we're going to bring with us is, you know what? Let's get Lae'zel back in the party. Now that we're bonded, I guess?
Halsin's proved himself a fine ally already. He'll be useful in battle, if those tree trunk arms are an indication.
He's a druid. But yeah, he should be able to fight pretty well.
It is done.
All right. Go ahead and get Halsin leveled up. Let's see what we've got. All right. We need to choose a subclass: Circle of the Moon, Circle of the Land, Circle of Spores, Wild Shape. All right, so this gains a cantrip. This just gives us Lunar Mend as an action. Expend the spell slots to regain hit points while in wild shape. It's all about maintaining his wild shape. All right, so we get wild shape. Replenish expended spell slots while out of combat. Natural recovery charge. but he does not get the bear wild shape. So, yeah, we kind of need to make him circle the moon. That's fine. And what spells do we want to give him? I'm going to want to use him as a healer. Healing word and cure wounds. Long Strider is also really good to have. Ice Knife. We don't need to give him Speak with Animals. And Thunder Wave. Yeah, you know what? Let's give him Thunder Wave. Prepared. Alright. So we get a level 2 spell slot. How many level 2 spell slots? Unlocks an additional level 1 spell slot and gives us 2 level 2 spell slots. So you know what? Let's prepare 2 level 2 spells. Flame Blade. Heat Metal. Flaming Sphere. No, I won't do Flaming Sphere. Increases armor class up to 16. Well, most of the people that we have, well... Let's see, for the group that we're going to have, it's going to be... Yeah, probably not. That does not consume... No, this should all consume spell slots. Hold person is always good. He isn't going to be using a blade. Like most of the time, he's going to be in wild shape. So, you know, let's just go a hold person. Moonbeam, yes, okay. Let's see, we gain another level 2 spell slot and a cantrip. And we can wild shape into Deep Rothe and Dire Raven. For cantrip, let's just go with, Guidance. It's always good. Cure a creature from disease. You know what? Let's just keep the lesser restoration. We need a feat. Ability improvement. Yep. Bump wisdom up to 18. We'll dump both the points into wisdom. Alright. Level 3 spell slot. Wild Strike. Bunch of level 3 spells. Feign Death, no. Touch a creature granted resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage. plant growth. You know what? Call lightning. That sounds fun. What do we get? Primal Strike. On beast form, your attacks count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical damage. Interesting. Wild Shape Panther and Wild Shape Owlbear. Sounds good. We get a level 3 spell slot. Let's take protection from energy, sure. A level 4 spell slot. So from the level 4 spells, freedom of movement, stone skin. In a creature's flesh hard as stone. It takes only half the damage of all non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. That sounds great. Wild Shape Sabertooth Tiger. Level 4 spell slot. Let's conjure Woodland Being. And we're going to cantrip, and the number you need to roll a critical hit with spells is reduced by 1. This effect can stack. Your hit point maximum increases by 2 for every level you have gained. You know what? Let's give him tough. He looks pretty tough. Basically make him a damage sponge. Alright. And with all of that, I think we're done with our work in camp.
I know you're keen, Ellen. Be patient. Your chance.
Oh, we need to give him some equipment. Hold off. Hold the phone. All right. Do I have anything that is interesting that we could give to Halson? What is he good at? He currently has a torch equipped, and that's it. Quarterstaff. Okay. What about a flail? Not proficient. Proficiency with the long sword, short bow, and long bow. Clubs, daggers, javelins, maces, quarterstaffs, bows. So, maces, potentially. I don't think you are... No, you do have shields. So, we could give him a... one-handed mace and shield. Nature's Snare. Halson, we'll send that to him. Circlet of Psionic Revenge. No, that's for...
What were you before you were this?
There is no
You inflict a condition and gain arcane synergy for 2 rounds.
sense.
Sure, because he's not really wearing anything else. We might as well just give that to him. The Sparkle Hands. On hit with an unarmed attack, the wearer gains 2 lightning charges. That's more for Monk.
Are you know, dead?
I am not a skeleton.
Featherfall, Spider Step.
Undead, neither alive nor unliving.
I don't get it.
Thou wilt.
For the moment, we'll just give him the Hoarfrost boots. What kind of armors are you proficient with? Light and medium. Scale mail +1. The moment. We'll go with that. You deal acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage using a spell or cantrip that element infuses your weapon. We'll give you these 2 rings. That ring and that ring. Amulet of the Unworthy. Grants resistance to slashing damage. Grants vulnerability to bludgeoning damage. Voice of the Circle. Wound closure. When downed, automatically stabilizes at the start of the turn. Maximize the number of hit points restored. You are a bit of a healer, so yes, take that. Alright. Looks good.
The skeleton.
And that's basically our entire episode, is all the camp work there.
With haste.
Let's head out to the house in Deep Shadow. I have a little bit more time, so let's go. All right, Oliver. We have someone for you to meet.
I won fair and square. There's no point in playing again. I want a challenge.
Though shrouded in shadows, the child's resemblance to Thaniel is unmistakable. This must be his dark half, warped by the curse.
Go on, find someone else to play with.
You know, let's leave. Let's switch over to Halson.
I won fair and square. There's no point in playing.
Though shrouded in shadows, the child's resemblance.
Go on, find someone else to play with.
All right. I know who you really are, where you really belong. You need to reunite with Thaniel.
Spoil sport. I'm not going back. I like it here. I've made a family for myself. I get to play all the time.
We'll do the druid check. This land needs you and Thaniel together, Oliver. Nature needs you.
You can't make me do anything I don't want to. I won't let you.
A slippery little bugger, isn't he? He'll be looking for somewhere safe. Somewhere where the shadows are nice and strong.
What to do?
A shadow portal.
I'll make my own fun if I have to. And my own.
Alright, this is over by that Sharon shrine. Alright, let's get you someplace where you can do nice and hidey things. We want to hit something that actually has some health points.
Leave no trace.
Good hit.
You've made a grave mistake.
And let's get right up in your face. Hunter's Mark.
You should have just left me alone. Spoil my fun. I'll teach you a lesson. Just sit and watch.
Alright, Halson. Let's moonbeam mummy over here. And then we'll wild shape. Let's do saber-tooth tiger.
Swift and lethal.
Alright, let's get in here.
My path be true.
No, we don't need to really expend much of anything. Let's just, knock these guys out. Hunter's Mark on Mummy. Yeah, we really need to get rid of Mummy and Daddy. Alright.
The subtle approach.
You stay back and keep laying on the damage. Alright, you get over here.
Strike you down.
Stop that! You're supposed to be playing, not breaking things.
Can't slow down.
Alright, what do we got? Shred armor. Reducer AC. I mean, what is its AC right now? 13? Jugular strike. Shred armor. Good hit.
Time to strike.
You're spoiling my fun! Stop it right now, or you'll be sorry. You want to play? Let me show you my favorite toy.
Shadow plush. All right. Let's get rid of that.
No choice but to keep going.
All right, let's get in here. Let's jugular strike. And shred armor.
Victory awaits. You bow, or you break.
Why are you doing this? All I wanted to do was play.
Every one of those we destroy weakens the Night Dome. Oh yeah, that moonbeam is around here somewhere still. All right, switch the melee attacks. Turn off auto double attack. Come on. There we go.
Why couldn't you just leave me alone? Why can't I just stay here playing? I had everything I've ever wanted right here, and you've ruined it.
We got
I'm not leaving.
Halson's wild shape in the way.
Be gentle. He's much more than a child, but he doesn't truly know that.
Talk to him, Halson. You know what needs to be said better than anyone.
It shall be done. Oliver, nobody is making you leave. This is your home. But it is dark, empty, lonely. I don't want you to be alone. I want you to be with Thaniel.
Why should I go back to him? He abandoned me.
No. You were stolen from each other. Neither of you are to blame. And I know your pain. I truly do. Thaniel was my friend also. I played with him, grew up while he stayed the same. He made me who I am today. And then he was ripped away from me. Same as for you. But you need not be alone any longer. You need not invent friends. Thaniel is back. He's waiting for you.
Fine. I'll do it. It might be nice to be with him again. Bye. And thank you for playing with me.
It's done, at last. Soon the land will be unshrouded. We should return to Thaniel when we can.
Okay, and we need to get you out of, I haven't really messed with druids much, so... Ah, there. Dismiss wall shape. Okay.
Let's get going.
Let's head back to camp. And before we deal with Thaniel, we will go ahead and end the episode here. So for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.